Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. This is a follow up to the video that I did earlier on the story from the survivors in Israel who were attacked by the invaders. I hate to use the word terrorist because y'all know who made up that word, and they'll call everybody a terrorist. They'll call me a terrorist, and I don't do nothing to nobody. So, um, I use the word sparingly. So I'm just going to say invaders because somebody that comes in and invades your personal space. Um, and that's what I chose to use. So I don't want anybody to be like, oh, I'm not being sensitive. I'm just trying to mitigate any issues. And I understand the times that we're living in. I'm not going to be compelled by nobody's feelings. I'm working on truth. And sometimes the truth is not what we see. So I was telling you earlier about the fact that there's a strong possibility that we could be invaded. And so I want to share this story from 2019 with you. It's from the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. And this says inside Hezbollah's American sleeper cells, waiting for Iran's signal to strike U.S. and Israeli targets. And so, um, to me, this is significant. One, because like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not on nobody's side. I'm just trying to help us understand that the ball is already ready rolling for what is about to happen. And so, when you start seeing these things happen together, you saw one place was attacked, you saw who did the attacking, and so you have to assume that in the very near future we'll be next. And with that, I just want you to be aware. I don't want you to be caught off guard. I don't want you to understand that you need to prepare because, as that story noted, people were waiting for help and no help came. People didn't have a means to protect themselves. They had safe rooms, but shoot, the people was burning down the houses, dragging little kids out, and thankfully, these people did not kill children, but they didn't mind killing the adults. And we still don't know why those people were targeted. Was it because they were close to the border and they were easy targets? Was it because they were wealthy? We don't have any inside information, so we can't make any determinations as to why those people were chosen. What I'm concerned about is what happens here in the U.S. as an African American Black person who I know. We're the least protected group in this nation. We have no bills that protect us. We're citizens. We're not protected. Police don't protect us. The government doesn't protect us. Other groups of people don't advocate for us. They get us to advocate along with them, and then they leave us behind. um, Nations all around the world hate us. And so, what does that mean for us if we find ourselves in a situation where we are invaded, and what that means for us and what that could possibly look like? So that's the reason that I'm talking about it, just for my people and Gentiles benefit as well, because although most of the Gentile populations have a place to flee or they're protected by law, when they cleave to us, they may or may not have no protection. So this is a relevant point for them as well. But this article is from Matthew Levitt, and it says he is a former Wexler Fellow and director of the Reinhard Program on Counterterrorism and Intelligence at the Washington Institute. So it says if hostilities break out with the United States, Tehran may try to minimize risk to its important assets in the Middle East by drawing on black ops units further abroad instead. So it says after Iran shot down an American drone in the Gulf last month, U.S. forces were reportedly 10 minutes away from firing missiles at Iranian targets when the president suddenly called off the attack. And at the time, that was President Trump. So it says the missile strikes would have killed too many Iranians, he later said, adding he was in no hurry to attack Iran, but that our military is rebuilt, new, and ready to go. U.S. officials insist that a full range of options remain on the table to deal with Iran's malign activities, including military options. But those military options could have significant implications for the security of Washington's allies in the region, including Israel, especially as they relate to the activities of Iran's increasingly capable proxies. And if you know anything about the area, Israel is surrounded by Muslim nations, and um, they rely heavily on America and Christian churches and others who support that Israel, not us Israel, but that Israel, in what they deem to believe the holy city where peace is supposed to be, but there's never no peace. Um, As tensions spike between Iran and the West, especially over oil sanctions and the freedom of navigation in the Gulf, Iran has been able to draw up its network of militant proxies to carry out attacks on Iran's behalf. In the words of former IRGC Commander General Mohammed Ali Jafari, the upside of the recent conflicts has been the mobilization of a force of nearly 200,000 armed youths in different countries in the region. Overseen by the IRGC's Quad force. This informal Shia Liberation Army includes Iraqi Shia militias, Yemeni Houthi rebels, and of course, Lebanese Hezbollah. Houthi rebels have targeted Saudi airports, border towns, oil facilities, and even targeted a Saudi warship using an Iranian designed remote controlled boat filled with explosives. Meanwhile, Iraqi militias have fought in Syria, reshaped the Iraqi political and security landscape in Iran's favor, fired rockets at U.S. diplomatic and military facilities in Iraq, and carried out a drone attack targeting Saudi oil facilities. Iran loaded rockets into launchers on Iranian commercial boats in the Gulf in May, just weeks after U.S. intelligence determined Tehran told its proxies to prepare to take a more confrontational approach to the U.S. And so that's what I'm concerned about, is that as they do this, we will be collateral damage. That's just the name of the game. And you got to think about this from this perspective. America done blowed up some people. Our soldiers, our military has done a lot of stuff to a lot of innocent people, civilians, uh, damaged a lot of countries, and made them unstable and unsafe for a lot of civilians for a variety of reasons. And so you have to understand, when you walk around and being a bully, one day your day gonna come. And so when that day comes, we have to, endure the damage from their actions because we don't have anything to do with it. So it says hyperbole aside, I'm sorry, Israel is very much within these proxies crosshairs as well. If the US attacks us only half an hour will remain of Israel's lifespan, threatened Majtaba Zolnur, chairman of the Iranian parliament's National Security and Foreign Policy Commission. So you can see how serious this is. Hyperbole aside, Iran has reportedly begun providing Iraqi Shia militias militia groups with precision missiles capable of hitting targets anywhere in Israel, perhaps to compensate for the attack platforms Iran lost in Syria as a result of Israeli airstrikes. Recently, press reports called Israeli jets targeted Iranian missile shipments in Iraq that were meant to be transferred. But I want to get down to the important part. Okay, so it says the most alarming case took place in the United States and Canada. According to U.S. prosecutors, two U.S. based Hezbollah IJO operatives, I'm not going to say their name, were tasked with carrying out pre operational surveillance for potential Hezbollah attacks in the United States and Panama. Authorities allege these people were sent to Thailand to shut down a Hezbollah explosives lab, and that the person was directed to identify Israelis in New York who could be targeted by Hezbollah and to find people from whom he could procure arms that Hezbollah could stockpile in the area. So y'all know they've been running weapons. A lot of weapons been getting stolen. A lot of weapons been missing, and they've had stories pretty much during the entire Obama administration about how like truckloads of weapons were seized, where people just have weapons that anybody can buy, and they sell them all over the country. They steal them from an area and then they transport them to another area to sell. So, if you buy a gun here and it's registered in South Carolina, but it is shipped off to California for somebody to use for illegal purposes, nobody would really know. So it says this person also conducted surveillance of New York and Toronto airports, as well as alphabet agencies and military facilities in New York City. So it says the case also offers unique insight into how and when Iran might ask Hezbollah IJO cells to carry out attacks. During one of the person's meetings with the Alphabet Agency, an interviewing agent recalled the person sat back in his chair, squared his shoulders, and stated, excuse me, I am a member of 910, also known as the Islamic Jihad or the Black Ops of Hezbollah. So y'all know what that is. The unit is Iranian controlled. Within Hezbollah, the unit reports directly to somebody, according to the person, but Iran oversees the unit's operations. Then the person went on to describe himself as part of a sleeper cell and explained there would be certain scenarios that would require action or conduct by those who belong to the cell. That the United States and Iran, if in the event that the United States and Iran went to war, the sleeper cell would expect to be called upon to act. And if the United States were to take certain unnamed actions targeting Hezbollah or the people's interest, in those scenarios, the sleeper cells would also be triggered into action. In the event of war with Iran, force allies, the Quad's force allies, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologize, around the region could fire rockets or carry out other attacks targeting Israel. So, because Israel has already been attacked, this is what is concerning me. And again, this is from August the 4th, 2019. It is 2023. So imagine how many cells are here, because they done imported people from everywhere. You got people from Ukraine. You got people here on H-1B visas. You have people who have slipped through the border. And so there are a significant number of things that have happened over the last, say, 4 years, that are not good for us as civilians, especially if you're in a major city, especially if you're close to a major airport. Um, and, we always have to think of fake Freddies. We don't know. You just don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter who does it. What matters is that it could be done, and what matters is you could be collateral damage. So that's one reason that I'm really not interested in flying any place right now. I try to stay really close to home, um, and I just keep prepping, because you don't know when things are going to turn, and as soon as something happens, everybody's declaring war. As soon as something happens here, they're going to declare war. When everything changes in an instant. Not only that, we don't know what these sleeper cells been told to do. And so we've been talking about EMP strikes. We've been talking about these frequencies and these cell towers and not having communication. I have to say this gently. Um, Airborne cootie bugs that could be sprayed on us. We have a lot of things that we need to be concerned about. I'm going to put a link to this article in the description, but I really want you to understand what's happening. These things have been discussed years ago, so they are not just happening all of a sudden. These things have been planned out for a long time, and they are just implementing the plans because, again, they got to tear down one system so they can build up the next, and they got to make you tired and beat you down and make you beg for their solution, uh, so that you'll believe that you're getting peace, but there ain't going to be no peace. So just make sure you are continuing to prep, continuing to pray, continuing to seek the Most High, keeping your head on a swivel and not letting your guard down. Like, these are some really dangerous times for us as Black people, as Americans, just all Americans in general, because I don't want anybody to be hurt who's, you know, innocent. Just all of us we don't make these decisions. We don't make these choices. We don't have anything to do with any of this stuff. But we are going to be the collateral damage, and there will be casualties. We don't know if it's going to be our friends or loved ones. We could lose employment opportunities. We could lose our homes. We could lose a lot of things. We're definitely going to lose what little bit of way of life we still do have. And so as Babylon falls, we just need to be vigilant, hyper vigilant. We need to be prayerful. We need to be considerate of the times that we live in, and do not take anything for granted. Don't take any day for granted. Just make sure you are doing what you can do on your end to not be caught off guard and unaware of what is going on, because these people got plans for us. They already told you so many billions of people got to get off this earth. Y'all gonna get off of here one way or the other. I'm trying to live and survive and endure to the end. And I don't know. I told you this is a season of discomfort and primitive living, and it looks like it's getting ready to kick off. I would not be surprised if something didn't happen before the end of the year. And I would definitely keep watch for the holy days and the high holy days and the things that happen um, uh, around the biblical calendar, around the moon. A lot of stuff is happening. You see all these earthquakes, quaking, stuff is happening. Um, Volcanoes are erupting, fish are dying, wars are happening. We must be ready, but we cannot be deceived. And so, again, you just got to keep watch, because everything that's happening, some of it ain't, it's prophetic, but it's not prophetic. Like it's prophetic in that it's going to happen, but some of these things that are happening have been made to appear as though they are prophetic for their benefit, for the benefit of the powers. And so you just really need to be, we must be careful in associating everything that's happening now with biblical prophecy, because as you know, a lot of things are not biblical. Some stuff is just outright lies, and we just cannot get folks to admit it. But if you know the truth, you understand what time it is. I'm not going to go into any details because y'all know when y'all start talking about certain groups of people, the algorithms don't like that. So if you understand the truth and who we are and who they are, you cannot be caught off guard. But there are a lot of other things that you must be watching out for. Like you must watch out for what the Pope is doing. You must watch out for the UN and the WHO, the treaty and the Sustainable Development Goals. You must watch out for COP28. You must watch it out for the nation and the introduction of any types of laws that are planning on curtailing our liberty of conscience and our religious rights and our right to free speech, because all those things are on the table right now to be nulled, just cut out, period. So got a lot of stuff to watch out for. When you see these things happening, you know something is coming down the pipe. So just keep watch. That's all you can do. Don't be fearful. This is a data point. It's just some information for you to take into consideration as you prep, pray, keep watch, repent. Look out for your brothers and sisters. Get your money out these banks. Get your money out these banks. Buy tangible things that you can use for when this system goes down, because it's going to go down. I don't know when, but a lot of things are going on with the banking systems. A lot of banks are closing. A lot of people are not able to access their money. You're not able to go into a branch and get your cash or get a check or whatever, get gold, whatever you plan on doing. They're closing the bank, so you're not able to do that, and they're going to make it harder for you to be able to get money. You can't go to the ATM and get out 10, 20, 30, $40,000. So if you have money in the bank, you need to get it out. And I'm not telling you to put your faith in money, but money is a currency of exchange for things that you may need in the future. So use your money to buy things that you are going to need. Do not rely on a whole bunch of electronic stuff and technology, because you ain't going to be able to charge it and you won't be able to use it. You buy you some things that you can use, old stuff, hand saws, tools, food, water, hygiene products, things that you can barter with, those types of things, clothes, warm clothing, tents, maybe buy a chainsaw so you can cut you some wood. It's going to get rough. And where I live, I can tell you, white people prepping, they know what's coming. They know in their spirits. I feel like deep down in their spirits, they know that the end is coming for them. They got firewood packed, piled up to the sky, and they're building houses, and multiple families are living on small plots of land. They got tiny houses built. They've been planting gardens. They know. Just African American Black people walking around here still talking about football and watching sports and just bickering and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just looking around like, oh my God. Still talking about Donald Trump and he shouldn't be running. Racism, stuff that don't even matter at this point, because Babylon is falling and these people ain't going to do nothing. They're going to do something, but they're not going to do it of their own volition. To just say that. They're going to be forced to do right, but they ain't going to do it on their own. So worry about the things that matter. Worry about the things that you can control. Worry about yourself, your circle, your family, your community, and doing what you need to do to be prepared. Make sure you have something to protect yourself. You need some home protection. I know you can't go out and buy a tank or nothing, But you need to have something to protect your home, not only from the people who just gonna be riding through looking for stuff to take, but what happens if you're invaded? A lot of these people in that other story did not have anything to protect themselves to invade, or to protect themselves from invasions, and they could have had something. We don't live in a peaceful world, so ain't no need for you to be running around here talking about no peace. You need to have you some pieces so you can have peace, because that's the only way you're going to have peace until the Most High comes back. Till the Messiah comes back and uh, brings peace with him. But he ain't coming to bring peace when he come back either. He got to destroy and clean up before he brings peace on this earth. So we live in a world that does not like peace. And so it's foolish of you to sit around and think that if you don't have anything to protect yourself, that somebody's going to come rescue you or somebody's going to protect you. That's not going to happen. Just look at the people in Israel. They got all the money in the world, got all the privilege, got all the power, and they sitting over there believing in peace and don't have weapons to protect themselves, and then they get killed. Most High didn't plan on us to get murdered. You're supposed to be able to protect yourself. There's a difference between killing and murdering. You're not going to murder anyone, but you do have the right to protect yourself. So you better be trying to get what you can while you can, because the day is coming where they're not going to let you buy nothing, and you're not going to be able to stock up on nothing to protect yourself. Not those types of weapons like nugs, spell nugs backwards, or power tools and Snicker bars. Won't be able to get those. So if you have resources, get some. Get other stuff too. You need to have you some, hunting knives and machetes, because you might have to cut some bushes or cut some butts. Get some axes, because you just might need those too. You need to have all sorts of things, a variety of things to protect yourself. You shouldn't just rely on one thing, one method. Um, but you need to be thinking about what happens if there's a strike or an invasion with some of these sleeper cells that are here, because it's a bunch of different groups that don't like this nation, and they're already here waiting to be activated. So if you live in a major city, that's something to consider. And just because we're American, we don't know where people are. We don't know what things are in our community that are deemed targets. So you just got to be prepared at all times. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified each and every time I upload new content. If you are already subscribed, make sure you check to see if you are still subscribed, and you may want to unsubscribe and resubscribe, because sometimes the algorithms do a thing and they don't share the information with you. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey. Links are in the description. Also on social media, links are in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, a link is in the description. And lastly, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Ask for forgiveness for your sins daily, sins of commission and sins of omission. Pray to be found worthy to escape what's coming, because something is coming. Can't stress it enough. I told y'all September and October were going to be busy months. It looks like November, December going to be busy too. We are going to war. This nation is going to war. And a lot of things are going to start happening. You're going to start seeing the trickle down soon of it. So while things are affordable, buy them. While you still have money and the money is worth something, use it. And while you can think, free of duress, use your brain to prepare, because once the thing falls apart, that's it. that window is closed. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all, and I'm out.